Hello and welcome to Sports Hub. It's another beautiful night as we host this program. Well, we're still in February, which is a month of love. And today I have special guests, two special guests. It's a couple and they are in sports. So I'll be introducing them shortly. Make sure you stay with us. They'll be telling us how they met, how they've been in sports together, and how they've been achieving in sports. We have a lot on the segment. We also have Julius Malulu as well as Ruth Gwedeza, who will be telling us what is trending, and they are here already. Ladies and gentlemen, what is trending?
Hello,
I can see you are perfecting your skills in terms of handling the ball.
I am, and I'm so happy. More than yesterday, we won Manchester United. We were crowned the champions of.
Since when did you start supporting Manchester United?
Don't ask me that. Which team do you support, by the way? We don't want to get into that.
How anyway, Manchester United boast when they win.
Yeah, Modern, it's been an interesting weekend. It was packed, full of drama, full of whatever in the world of sports. But anyway, we have a story of a goalkeeper who was attacked by a fan. Goalkeeper of... as you can see there on the screen, we have Marko Dimitrovic. He was attacked by a fan who did not accept the results of the match. Sevilla beat, they were playing
PSV.
against PSV, right? They were playing against PSV, but then they lost on aggregates, 3-2 aggregates. So this sparked some nerves in the fans, and the fan went and attacked the goalkeeper on the pitch. But fortunately enough, the goalkeeper was quick to respond, and he pinned him down to the ground until the security arrived. So this is what was happening. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about these pictures because, I mean, this is a very prominent game, and then we see a fan attacking a goalkeeper like that on the pitch. How safe are players on the pitch if some random guy can just come in and attack a goalkeeper like this?
The biggest question is where was security?
Exactly. So,
and then one impressive thing is that I think that goalkeeper is very good. I think he can also try wrestling.
He will be very good at that, because if you look at how swift he was to just pin him down and put him there like he was waiting for security to arrive, like, stay there. What you know?
Well, so for me, more than a Ruth, it's about. I've always been against football hooliganism. For me, it doesn't work out. Football is a beautiful game that should be enjoyed, and I think what happened is so unfortunate, and it's so sad that security did not handle this situation very well. But obviously, I'm sure security must have been there, but then they were just overwhelmed. Obviously, you know, these things do happen sometimes. So it's just sad that it happened that way. But then I was actually reading the comment from the goalkeeper who was involved, and he actually did react. Or so he actually said, I would have reacted to hit back to the fan, all right? But then it was good that he didn't hit back, because if he hit back, it would have been another situation. So it's a very sad situation, Ruth, and I think this should not happen in Zambia. Please let it stay there.
I hope
because more than you and I know that there's a team in Zambia that loves such kind of scenarios. So we hope that they're not going to get it from, you know, and be motivated.
The director is saying, the director beside me is saying, just say it's in Ghana football.
No, director, I'm not going to mention names. I didn't say anything, director. It's not me.
Okay, more than still talking football, we have another story that has been trending. A story of a South Sudan goalkeeper by the name of Sebio Yasuk. This goalkeeper here claims to be 18 years old. He's playing for the under-20 South Sudan team. And I did a little bit of research of my own, and I come across his Facebook account. He's got a Facebook account that he has owned since 2015. And this picture that you're seeing right here is a picture that he shared in 2015 when he was supposed to be 8 years old. I mean, if you look at this picture, does it show an 8-year-old boy to you?
He looks 17 days.
Well,
17 or 18.
This was
sometimes
2015.
these days now people are growing bigger than the, obviously, somebody might think he wasn't 8 at the time. But then it's possible because these days somebody would have a big body, but they're like 7 or 8 years. These days now the food that people are eating. So for me, it's possible that he was actually 6 years this time.
This time,
He
6 years old.
he looks older than you, Julius. Actually.
Exactly.
Yeah, don't push me to tell people my age.
So how old is he, Ruth? Tell us, how old is he now?
Now he's supposed to be 18 years
He's
old.
18. Let's see the picture again.
Let's see the picture.
Let's see the 18-year-old.
Yes, he's supposed to be 18 years old right now in this picture. This picture was taken, I think, last week. This is the photo that has been trending and
maybe the argument in this Modern and Ruth is really, why are people wanting to attack this Sudanese goalkeeper? Is it because of maybe the way he's looking now? Like, obviously, if you look at him now, he looks older than his age. And if you look at the other photo where he was 8 years, he also looks, you see, he looks a little bit different.
There he looks younger.
But this picture was shared when
he looks
he
a
was
little bit
supposed to
different from the other pic. Okay, maybe that's the reason why, because on the other pic he looks way older.
These are not the only photos that are
HS.
on social media for this goalkeeper. These are not, you can see there. We have another photo there when he...
Maybe it's just the kind of skin that he has.
Wow, I've got a similar skin to him, but obviously I don't look, above my age, So that's what we have in the, those are some of the pictures of our lovely South Sudan goalkeeper.
And by the way, their team has qualified to the quarterfinals.
Congratulations
They've ended
to them.
on 4 points.
Congratulations.
Courtesy of his heroics.
Congratulations to them. Obviously. We just feel bad that our very own young Chipolopolo, I don't know this time around if they've managed to qualify. Obviously, we left it 2-1, but then it's a sad story.
So unfortunately, it has ended like that. They've lost by 2-1.
It's a sad story that our team is
and they're heading back home.
We're hoping that they're going to replicate the 2017 performance, but then so sad that they have failed to perform and making the country proud. But anyway, that's a game of football. Football has got 3 results. You lose, you draw, or you win. So we wish the boys all the best even as they come back. Ruth, we have one of
we have another story. Yeah, we have a story of our beautiful Copper Queens.
More than you remember, we've been talking. I think for the past
about their dressing.
For the past 2 shows, we've been talking about the dress code. First of all, we started with Barbara Banda. Remember, we did talk about her hairstyle, and we were appreciating her looks. Last week, we talked about the swag of Rachel Kundananji and Grace Chanda, and we did. We did have our own opinions. This time around now, this is Margaret Belemu and Hazel Nali. Now look at how they're looking.
They look
Ruth,
different.
what's your take on this?
They look beautiful. They look feminine.
So this is what they should go. This is what they should go with.
Not all the time. If you look at what she's wearing, you can't go like this.
In public.
Like what we discussed last week, they were just arriving for the Turkish tournament. So obviously you cannot dress like this at the airport, obviously. But I think this time around they were just relaxing and whatnot. So this is actually good. It shows that these are ladies.
For me, Modern, this is the best swag, and I think they do look good. Ruth, quickly take us through the last story.
Oh, the last story is just caution to our players. It's rainy season. And last week we saw this player who was playing. I don't know what had happened. Maybe he had some unfinished business by his barber man, and this ended up happening on the pitch while he was playing. We saw some black stuff dripping all over his face. In another picture, we saw him like looking disturbed, really, and he looked like somebody called him Mask of Zorro on social media. So it's interesting.
Could that be Go Black?
It looks like it.
When you talk of players more than just in this same story, when you talk of players in the modern league, like the Premier League, I don't think obviously this can happen, because obviously boys, when they're in camp, they do go to the barber shop a few days before they get into camp, and obviously they would make sure that their barber man does a good job, so that when it's
so even if it rains the way it's raining now, it can't come out that dye.
No, obviously. What I mean is the professional player, or maybe those players that play in the league, in the beta league, would obviously go to barber shop a few days before the game, and obviously this cannot happen. But looking at the situation, obviously if we're going to give our own interpretation, it shows that this was happening in a rural area.
Exactly.
That's our conclusion. So this is what we had in as far as social media, what's trending on social media. Modern is concerned. Looking forward to coming next week with more interesting and juicy stories.
Interesting. Thank you very much, Ruth and Julius. Yeah, looking forward to next week's program with more juicy stories. Okay, so we continue with our program. Feel free to participate on the program. The numbers will be crawling on the screen. So we go to our next segment, which we call "How Much Do You Know Your Sports Men and Women?" And well, last week I showed you a photo of a football legend, and I had interesting responses, overwhelming actually. So the first message comes from Edgar of Ndola. He says, that is James Piri. So that's Edgar from Ndola. And this one, another one says, Tepa Lungu. The player in the picture is James Piri. Okay, great. Tepa Lungu didn't tell us where he is writing from. Then this one says, my name's Auditor Junior Munsaka from Kalomo. We are together. I'm enjoying. By the way, I'm wishing to be announced like others. I need support. I'm 20 years old. I'm also a footballer. Okay, great. Great to hear from you, Auditor Munsaka Junior from Kalomo. Then another one says, the goalkeeper on the photo is James Piri from Kamuso, again in Monze. Right. Then this one says, the person in the picture is James Rigo Piri, first choice goalkeeper when Zambia played Nigeria in the Africa Cup final in 1994. This was in Tunisia. We lost, but he had a good game. Sebastian Chanda. He didn't say where he's writing from, but yes, we value your contribution. Then this one says, that's James Piri. I'm Vasco from Kabanana, Lusaka. Okay, thank you. Then another one says, the player is James Piri, Kawandami Chatama from Mansa. Oh, Mansa is watching. Great to hear from Mansa. Then another one says, the keeper is James Piri. This one is in Swana. Swana didn't say where they are. Then another message, my name is Noah Mumba from Kitwe, and the player's name is the late James Piri. He was a very great goalkeeper. Thank you very much for the message, Noah Mumba from Kitwe. Then another one says, enjoying the program. The goalkeeper is James Piri, popularly known as Kafwanayo. Played in the 1994 and 1996 AFCON for Zambia. Died in 2001. This one is Evans Axon. Didn't mention where they are. And this one says, good evening. I'm Chicha Muitwa from Chipata City. That player is Mr. James Piri, Zambia national team man. Right, so thank you so much for your responses, and all the responses were very correct. So at least now I know that you follow Zambian sports. So, but I have another one. Anyway, just a bit of details regarding James Piri. So he was born on 13th February 1968, and he died on January 5, 2001. So he was a Zambian footballer and is regarded as one of the best Zambian goalkeepers of his generation. He was the main goalkeeper in the squad for the 1994 and 1996 Africa Cup of Nations, and was voted Zambian Footballer of the Year for 2 consecutive seasons in 1993 and 1994. So may his soul continue resting in peace. That's a James Piri. He once played for Zanaco as well. Today I have another photo for you. I want you to identify this other player. This one. He's also a Polo Polo legend. Who is he? If you know him, send us your message to 0955 20 29 04. That's just for WhatsApp, 0955 20 29 04. But if you want, you can call us directly on 0211 25 30 25 or 0211 25 08 43. If you want, you can go to Facebook. You can go to Sports Hub Facebook page or Modern Sinkala Sports and send us that message. We'll be glad to hear from you. Let's look at the results now from the past week. We start with the Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. Heartbreak, obviously, for Zambians because the Under-20 national football team is heading back with only a point. Many people are saying East or West Under-20 that has gone to the Africa Cup. But I remember in 2015, another team which had the likes of Patson Daka also went there and came back with no point. Then 2 years later, they won it. So tough luck to the Zambian team. So on Wednesday, it was Mozambique 0, Senegal 3, Nigeria 1, Egypt 0. On Thursday, it was Central African Republic 0, South Sudan 1. Then Congo, Brazzaville 2, Uganda 2. On Friday, it was Tunisia 0, Benin 0, Zambia 0, Gambia 2. On Saturday, it was Egypt 0, Senegal 4, Mozambique 0, Nigeria 2. On Sunday, it was Uganda 0, South Sudan 0, Central African Republic 0, Congo 0. And today, it was Zambia going down at the hands of Tunisia. Zambia were actually leading. Then, not Zambia leading. Tunisia were leading. Zambia equalized through Kingston Mutandwa. Then, before they could even finish celebrating, Tunisia scored the second goal. So it was heartbreaking. Then Gambia has beaten Benin by 1-0, and it means Gambia has stopped with 9 points. So Zambia only needed a win to go through to the quarterfinals, but tough luck, they're now coming back. Let's now go to the MTN Super League on Saturday in the week 25 results. It was Forest Rangers 1, Nkana Likulu 3. Forest Rangers 1, Nkana 3. Then FC Muza 1, Zesco United 0. Green Eagles 4, Butcon 0. Lumwana Radiants 1, Zanaco 1. Napsa Stars 0, Kansanshi Dynamos 0. Nkwazi 0. Green Buffaloes Imbo Ishakatapakatapa 2. Then Prison Leopards 1, Changa Rangers 0. Red Arrows 5, Chambishi 1. On Sunday, it was Power Dynamos 3, Cabo Warriors 3 in a 6-goal thriller. We go to the National Division 1 League, first National Division 1 League with 25 results. It was Mufulira Wanderers 4, Bats FC 0. This was on Saturday. Then Indeni 2, City of Lusaka 1. Mpolungu Harbour 3, Kito United 1. Zesco Malaiti Rangers 1, Mtondo Stars 1. Kafue Eagles 0. Then Kafue Celtic 0. Aguila Stars 1, Young Green Buffaloes 2. On Sunday, it was Livingstone Pirates 0, Trident 0. Konkola Blades 4, Jumulo 0. The game between Atletico Lusaka and Lusaka Dynamos was postponed because Atletico Lusaka had more players with the under-20, and now Atletico will start playing the unplayed games because the under-20 is coming back. We end with the English Premier League, week 25 results. On Friday, it was Fulham 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. Then on Saturday, it was Everton 0, Aston Villa 2. Leeds United 1, Southampton 0. Leicester City 0, Patson Dakars Leicester City 0. Arsenal 1, the league leaders. West Ham United 4, Nottingham Forest 0. Bournemouth 1, Manchester City 4. Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 0. On Sunday, it was Tottenham Hotspur 2, Chelsea 0. I wonder what is happening to Chelsea. And jokingly, people are saying the lion on the logo has left Chelsea because he's disappointed with the results. Then on Wednesday, there will be another game to be played. Manchester United will be taking on Brentford. We'll see whether Ruth will celebrate again as they play Brentford, a tricky side. So this game will be played at 21 hours. Right, so before I introduce my special guests in the studio, let's dance to a song done by Tribal Cousins. This one is titled Chipolo Polo.
Zambia imbe palibola talala unamkulo nomba tu Afrika webele bambukila basamba yembele natikuli kosainde kokaya inde ala mwana Zambia inde yena chipolo polo ati pa Zambia pali bapigemu abaite bonse bate yapkezemu ibila iwe kamubola bali bazambe bana inesilala iseni boyani bonse kamubola no matwangira mbone ni bacha santolo basansa dedo ni chipolo pola muchibansa indipondo na chipampa ba Zambia wapya bola kumbuya bantu bonse kama butenchu mwela osalema baby see the match song matamangiseni bola ni yatu mnyeka kachitatu macha maona dize babuta basembe bali game wa mwasini mazi ndipo basaule mu ba Zambia dedo ni chipolo pola baka maila matamangiseni bacha sana ba even though the match is up don't worry we'll give you support to back you up lift you up and bring the cup ba Zambia to
Okay, so Nangula Valelu Sawa Zambia. At least we played them a song. We wish them the best in the future games to come. But we know that the Chipolopolo will be playing Lesotho in a back-to-back fixtures, AFCON qualifiers. So the first one will be on the 23rd of March at Levi Mwanawasa Stadium in Ndola. And 3 days later, they'll go to Lesotho. Hope this time they will make the nation proud. Right, so time for me to welcome my guest in the studio. It's a powerful couple. They've been in the motor rally industry for some time now. And, well, they are coming from 2 powerful families. So, one is from the Ticklay family. I'm sure you know Azim Ticklay. I once hosted him on this show. He started rallying a long time ago, and that's a renowned name. And then another one is coming from the Singh family. You know what the Singhs have done in motor rally. Satwan Singh has 8 African titles. And then Muna Singh has 2 African titles. Jasi Singh has 1 African title. So it's a big name in motor rally. So help me welcome Farook Ticklay, who has married Jasmeen Tickay. So they are here on the show. Good to have you.
Same.
All right.
How are you, Mori?
Very well, thanks. How are you? Jasmeen, how are you? All right. You are welcome. You can take your seats there. Right. So it's a month of love. We're still in the month of love, February, and I'm happy to have the two of you. How was your Valentine's Day? Okay. I remember I said it was out of the country.
Yes, I was actually out, so there was nothing like Valentine's, which is good. I saved a lot of money.
So you didn't send a bouquet of flowers from wherever you were?
No, I actually did, but at least the bouquet is better than gifts, you know. It drops the costs, you know.
I can just imagine how women feel when, when their partner is not around and they're supposed to receive gifts. Jasmeen, how did that make you feel that he was not around?
Lucky for me, I have my children to keep me company, so they fill the void when he's not around.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So like I was giving the background of the two great families that you are coming from. Farook, how did you... Oh, first tell us your background. When were you born? Where? And how was your upbringing like?
So I was actually born in Monze. This is why they know me there as the Tonga Bull. Born in Monze Mission, 1989. And then we had moved to Lusaka, originally from Kalea. And then we had moved to Lusaka. Obviously, they say greener pastures in the capital. So this is what we had come for. That's a small brief introduction of myself.
How many are you in the family?
So we're four, 3 boys and 1 girl.
Right.
So
at least I know Imran, I know Yazdan.
Yazdan, yes. And then my sister is actually a lawyer that keeps us in check. So her name is Yasmin.
Great. Okay, let's hear from Jasmeen.
I was born in Chingola, Copper Belt, but raised in Lusaka, so I lived my whole life in Lusaka. I come from a very big family of 5. You know my brother Jassy, he's my twin brother. And then Muna Jr. is my younger brother. Balvin, the older sister, she's married to Kyle Latif, also a rally couple.
Yes, I should be hosting them,
Yes.
I'm sure, when they're in Lusaka.
And lastly, my young sister Nadine. Yeah.
Right, interesting. And when was that? And how was your upbringing like in Chingola?
I was raised in Lusaka, so I used to spend just vacations in Chingola with my grandparents who lived there from my mom's side. But raised in Lusaka, city girl, don't know much about the outskirts. Yeah.
Interesting.
And I started rallying when I was 17. Yeah, but we were brought up in this racing environment from our grandparents, so yeah, our whole life.
Okay, let me start with Farook. How did you get into sport, and is motor rally the first sport that you were introduced to?
No, so in the beginning I had actually started bicycle racing. That's where I started from. So I used to do quite a bit of bicycle racing. Quite a while back there used to be some events at the motor club, now Lusaka Motor Club. I had won some. After that I had gotten into go-karting. Unfortunately, go-karting in Zambia doesn't have a very big viewing or track events or anything. So we had just done it because we had the go-karts. After that I jumped onto quads. I was actually racing quads professionally, racing at Eureka, and after that it got a bit boring, so I started motor rally. So I actually started motor rally 2013, so plus minus about 10 years now that I've been racing for rally. I had actually started with a borrowed car from my brother.
Okay.
He had bought a car. It wasn't doing too well.
What car was it?
It was a Subaru, but it was a kind of a taka-taka car. It wasn't finishing events. It never used to finish events. I'm an automotive engineer by profession, so I had a task to bring that vehicle to something worth driving. So my career started very hard. We actually raced our first event. I didn't have a navigator, and Jasmeen actually jumped on board for one event, and it was a nightmare. The car The car was boiling, so we had overheating problems, and
There was holes everywhere.
there was holes on the bottom of the floor, so dust was
dust
coming in, and I'm asthmatic, so I was having like difficulty breathing while driving, and there was just so many issues with the car. I don't even know whether we finished that event or we didn't, but it was just a nightmare. After that, I actually underestimated how much preparation there is in rally, and that is when now I started preparing slowly. Obviously, for rally, it's a bit of an expensive sport, so you have to look for sponsors, you have to look for this to try and maintain the car. But the good part was, because I'm an automotive engineer, I was able to save a lot on labor costs because I was doing a lot of it myself.
Right.
So I do a lot of, even now, currently, all my works from building engines to building the car, I do everything myself.
Right.
And I think that helps me have more confidence in driving because I know everything is 100%.
So you had the rough start in 2013 when you started.
Yes, it was actually not only 2013. I think I had, obviously with a rally car, it's expensive, and I didn't have the money at that particular time. So as the events went, actually not even the events, as the years passed, I was just getting the car better and better and better. I think it took me about 2 or 3 years in fact maybe about 2 or 3 or even 4 years to get the car now properly, and that's when now it became the N16 killer. And this was a car now that was good, and I could also now show my driving skill in it because it was a reliable car.
What car is it? I can see.
So this one is my N14 now, which is the newer car. But my previous one was an N10. Everyone knows that car. In fact, everyone knows that car with me in it.
Actually, now it's being driven by a lady.
Yes, now it's actually being driven by a lady. Milas Chulu is the one who's driving it. It was, yes, and it was bought by what's his name? Her husband for now.
Okay, so before I come to Jasmeen, so who inspired you? Was it your dad?
Like Jasmeen said, we've come from a background of rallying. So from young, we used to come to rallies, watch rallies. Even if my dad wasn't involved, we used to go and we used to enjoy the sport. We used to enjoy speed. And I think it's from there where I had actually got that interest, in motor rally and in fast cars and enjoying cars, seeing cars. And slowly that is where I actually got my inspiration from. Mostly it's my dad, because we used to go for the events together. And when you are young, you are his favorite, he's your favorite driver. Even if people are faster than him, you would still say that is my dad, and he's my favorite driver. So at that time, I've come from, I think my biggest inspiration was my dad to start the sport. And when I was starting, he gave me a go ahead to start rally, and I think this was where I didn't have any, must I say, barriers to start, and that's where I had actually started myself.
Right. For you, Jasmeen, I know you are coming from also a great family and a lot of people obviously to inspire you, but who in particular inspired you to go into rally?
I never thought I would ever end up in a rally car. I used to go to events watching from a very young age. And then at some point when I was maybe 12, 13, I started marshalling. So I would do the timekeeping and all that behind the scenes, the organizing of the event. And then one day my dad was stuck he didn't have a co-driver. His co-driver was Dave Sioka. He used to live outside of Zambia. And for some reason he couldn't make the event. So he said, now what do I want to do? I want to rally, but I don't have a co-driver. So jokingly, I said, I'll do it.
Whoa.
And I was 17 at the time. I was so young, still in school. I said, I'll do it. It must be easy. You just read a book. How hard is it? I didn't think he would take me seriously. And this was on a Friday. Saturday is recce, and you have sign-on and everything. He said, okay, if you're ready, tomorrow we go. So I said, yeah, for sure, we'll go. I didn't know that he was being serious, you know.
And then just like that, I jumped in the car and did the first event with him, which I won, because at that time he was the champion, right?
Yes,
Muna
and he had a
Singh
good
is the
car.
fastest, best car, whatever, and he's a very good teacher. So he taught me from the beginning. I jumped in the car, and that was how I started racing.
How was the experience for you, reading all those notes, and did you make any mistakes being your first?
It's a funny story, but when you write as a co-driver, you can't write full words. Like if you're saying right 3 or medium right, you don't write medium right. You put MR, medium right. So sometimes if you're new to it, and there's different symbols that mean different things, so there'll be like an upside down U that means hump or something like that, but only you know what you're writing. And for some reason I was reading through the notes, but I reached a symbol that I forgot what it meant. And so I can't ask the driver, what is this supposed to be, because you're going like 100 and something kilometers an hour.
Wow.
So it took me a couple of stages, but like I say, he's a very good teacher. So when I got lost, and sometimes you're going really fast, that you don't know where you are, your notes and the speed and the car, and it's not matching. So the driver has to come in and say, okay, we're at this corner, there's a tree, there's a this, and then they help you to find yourself in your notes. And that's what my dad did. So every time I made a mistake or I got lost or something, he brought me back on track. So,
Right. So it was,
that's how I
it was a
learned.
good partnership.
Yeah.
Right. So from that time, you even developed the interest.
Yes. And since then, I was his co-driver. He stopped calling Mr. Sioka in. I took over for him. And then he retired, and I started racing with, I entered one event with my twin brother, Jassi, in Tanzania. He was invited for a Arusha rally. And somebody sponsored him a car. It was his first time driving a 4-wheel drive, first time in another country, and we happened to be there together. We went to climb the Kilimanjaro. And after we climbed Kilimanjaro, there was an event, and someone there, one of my dad's good friends, gave him a car. Said, you are here, you are driving, your sister's a co-driver, enter the race. So we raced for the first time together, but we don't get along in the car.
Really?
We fought in the car the whole rally. At some point, he was not listening to me, and he's telling me, if I don't listen, you must shout at me. I was hitting him with my books, and he was hitting me, but we ended up coming second. By only 18 seconds, we could have won that event.
Wow.
But I will never rally with him again. It was the first and the last time.
But you were fighting during a competition. Is that how it has been always as twin siblings?
No, we're outside of the car, we're very good together. But inside the car, he's stubborn, and I know what I'm saying is right. But we just don't marry in the car. We are on different pages. We don't take it where we can't. We just can't be together.
Right. And how was the partnership with Farook?
So after my twin brother, I entered with my young brother, and that's who I continued racing with, Muna.
Okay.
And then I was studying in South Africa, so I left Zambia. I went to study in South Africa for 2 years. And while I was there, I used to come here for holiday. When I came one vacation, on my way back, I was leaving on the Saturday. There was a rally the weekend I was going back to college, and Farouk was stuck. He didn't have a co-driver. So he's telling Jassi, because he was very good friends with my brother. At that time, I didn't know him. We were not talking. He wasn't a person I was interested in. And then he was just a name and a competitor. I didn't really care much. But he was stuck, and he asked my twin brother Jassi, I'm stuck, do you know anyone? So Jassi says, my sister, she's leaving on Saturday. If you change her ticket, she'll stay and race with you. So he called me, this guy is stuck, he's a friend of mine, you know Farouk. I said, don't say Ticklay. He said, yeah, Farouk Ticklay, he just needs a co-driver just for the weekend, one event. He's really stuck, he wants to enter. So I said, let me think about it. Me, I can never jump in with a Ticklay, because in my head, I have Azim Ticklay, how he races. My father-in-law, in his cruiser, he's very rough and tough. So I said, I will never ever jump in a car with a Ticklay man. I can't. I'll stick to the Singh blood, I think. And he somehow persuaded me. Then he gave Farouk my number, and Farouk phoned me, and he said, please, I'm really stuck. I'll change your flight. So I agreed. I said, okay, I'll do one race with you. Let's see how it goes. For some reason, I got stuck. I enjoyed racing with him, and we ended up being a team since 2013, even through all the bad cars and the dust and the breakdowns. It was a nice teamwork. He's a good driver.
Wow. So that's how you met.
That's how I met. Yeah.
Farook, it was an interesting story, right? And you couldn't even mind changing the tickets and all that.
No, a lot of that is lies, but anyway. Yeah, so I mean, like you said, with us, we used to, as children with the motorsport fraternity, everyone was very close. I mean, rally is one big family. So there was a lot of events where we used to go together, but there was never an interest in her or in her navigating me, because I actually had a navigator at that time, and unfortunately there was a bit of a problem and I was really stuck. Whether she was just I don't know, saying that I can't race with a Ticklay, but look at where she is today, you know what I mean? Yeah, but it was nice. Look, when I started, I really didn't know much about the in-depth of rallying. I was a good driver because I had a bit of backing while I was young. But obviously a navigator makes you a better driver. And a few navigators I've raced with Luston Chulu, who's also a very great navigator, Jasmeen, who's also very good. And I personally feel you can be the best driver in the world, but if you do not have a co-driver to back you as a driver, there is nothing you're going to do.
Right.
That is a definite point, and all the top drivers know it.
Right. But to take you just back a bit, Farouk, wasn't it just a trick that you were stuck in the actual fact? Just wanted Jasmeen.
But you know what? Even if I trapped her and I tell her now, there's nothing she can actually do about it. So it's fine.
Right. But how has been the partnership? How many championships have you won together?
So unfortunately, I don't do the whole season. I actually, because look, rally in Zambia has a bit of a hiccup when it comes to sponsorship. We still urge a lot of corporates to come on board and support us. I mean, rally is a sport that has brought great honors to the country, but we still don't have corporate support. We would still request corporates to come on board. Unfortunately, I have not taken part in every event of the year. Starting from my rally career, I have been very close to the national championships. I think it was in
2 years ago.
2 or 3 years ago, including last year. I was actually quite close until, but again, I didn't enter 2 events or 3 events out of the whole year. So a lot of times, I feel if I do enter a lot of events or majority or all the events a year, I think I could have a good chance of being a national champion. But because I'm not, I'm sure you've heard it in a lot of interviews to say Farouk is not really committed in rally. He'll enter a few rallies, he won't enter when he feels like. But it's not that I don't feel like, it's because I don't have the support. And rally is expensive. So if you have a family to look after, you have your business to look after, you don't want to prioritize rally. It's a hobby and gives good advertisement, but sometimes you also have to look at other aspects.
Okay, so that's part of your action there. Is that your new car?
Yes, that's my new car.
How is it doing for you so far?
You can ask my competitors that question. I think they would be better to answer that question. It's doing very well. We've won, I think, a few events in it. We've done quite well. Again, this is also not a professionally built rally car. It was built in Kenya. I bought it. It was actually a recce car. And at least now we've brought it to where it is now. And I can say very, very, very competitive. And gives my competitors a lot of headaches.
But can still be improved.
Can still be improved a lot. Obviously, with sponsors, can be improved.
Okay, there's a story. There was one time, I don't know, is it a year ago or so? I think there was a super special stage in the showgrounds, and Mujo won. And I only had space for one person to be interviewed, and that was the winner. And he said, "Are you going to interview me?" And I said, "I'll interview you when you win." And you are confident saying, "Tomorrow I'm winning." And the following day, you won it.
No,
And you still remember that story?
You're actually changing the story. That's not how it happened.
That's how it was.
That is not how it happened. You were interviewing Mojo because he won the stage.
Yes.
Then I had asked you, are you not interviewing me? And then what did your reply to me was, you
When
did
you
not
win.
win. So I said, okay, no problem. Tomorrow I'm going to win and
winning.
you will be looking for me. And that is what had happened. You were looking for me. And even the next day I even told you, I said, Martin, come this idea. And you were very shy when you were coming. But anyway, you know what? I'm someone who enjoys joking. I mean, all my competitors know that. I enjoy rally banter, you know. We talk a lot of nonsense, but deep down, everyone in rally is there for each other. That's actually the good thing about it.
Right.
You know.
Are you inspired by the Gomes couple, Leroy Gomes and Eshla? Let me come to you, Jasmeen. They've won the African title, and are you inspired by that?
It is very inspirational. I don't know if we would be able to do something like that. It takes a lot of commitment because you have events the entire year and you have to leave your family to be on the road majority of the time. So is it something I would like to do? Maybe not. It's nice to have the title and the story behind you, but I think my days of that is past me. I did attempt to do the African Championship with Muna, my young brother. In 2015, if I remember right, 2017, we did the African Championship. I actually won the national championship with him that same year, with Muna. But no, I don't think I would attempt to do the African Championship with him. It would be
Why
nice.
not?
I think if we had to do it, I really believe we could win it because of the kind of talent that we have together. I won't say only you, because majority is me. But you need a lot of sponsorship backing. If somebody came tomorrow and said, here's a car, here's your sponsorship, go. I don't know, would we do it?
I don't know. We have 3 kids right now, so
3 kids.
leaving
Wow,
them behind.
well
We actually
done.
have triplets.
Wow.
So I think
Triplets.
I mean, even for Leroy and Eshla, big
It's
congratulations to them. It's very, very tough because you take a lot of time out of your family. You take a lot out of it takes a lot out of your business also. Personally, I would never be interested because firstly, I don't have the money to do that. Secondly, I don't have the car to do that. And thirdly, it takes up too much time and really consumes you. Because especially, okay, like with Leroy and Eshla, they had done the national championship, which they won also, congratulations to them. And they did the international, the ARC. So there were these 2 championships that they were fighting for. And you know, if you're not racing abroad, you're racing locally, and if you're not racing, and you know, you also miss out a lot of family time. You know, you miss out a lot of family time. I mean, if it was that easy, I think everyone would do it every year. But it's a lot of commitment, it's a lot of time, it's a lot of money. Yes, maybe if somebody came, like she's saying, right now my car cannot compete in any ARC event because it's substandard. But right now everything is the R5. If somebody maybe did come and say, okay, here's a car, here's full sponsorship, I would consider. But maybe this team wouldn't be there for the old events because obviously she has responsibilities, and I wouldn't want every 2 weeks she's out of the country and now the kids now start, you know.
So you would look for a different navigator if there is a proper sponsor who wants you to compete in the African Championship.
But there's no one better than me. I mean,
Yes, there's no one better than her for me. But what I would do is the events that I feel maybe are tricky or competitive or very dangerous, I would actually ask her to come on board. But the other ones that I feel, okay, you know what, maybe, okay, like in terms of rally, there is nothing that's safe. That's the unfortunate part. You need someone to be 100% committed every time. But I'm sure there are other navigators who are also just as good, who maybe would come on board. But this is if it happened.
Okay.
You know.
So how far do you want to go in your rally career? Do you have high ambitions?
In Zambia, unfortunately, we can't call it a career because we don't have the support. In other countries, it can be a career. Everywhere else in the world, it's a career because you get a lot of corporate backing. It's very, very unfortunate that in Zambia we don't get the corporate backing that they get everywhere else. So in Zambia, you have to work to get your car up to spec, and you start, if you really want to gain maximum results, you tend to cripple your business slightly, you know, and that is unfortunate. You know, it's a good platform to advertise for corporates. So I still will always put it onto corporates to help not only me but all the drivers. We all need that support, and it is something that has brought great honors to the country, and is also a very good platform to advertise on. So why not jump on board? You know, football is not the only platform, you know.
True.
So you can jump on all these other platforms, you know.
Okay, Jasmeen, what's the future like for you? Are you going to end as a navigator, or do you wish to be a driver someday? What is it like?
To be honest, I don't think I can drive. It's harder to be a co-driver, but I feel like, no, maybe I would attempt to drive one day, but for fun, just for the fun, to see if it's as hard as it looks. But no, for me, I feel content. I've been racing from when I was 17. That's almost half my life, yeah. And I've won a national championship. I've done the ARC. I feel like I've accomplished everything that I wished to. I raced even in Qatar in the desert. I went and did desert racing as a co-driver. So I feel like in my rally career, if you want to call it that, I've explored everything that I wished to, won everything I wished to, and now it's just to enjoy and race and have fun. And if we win, we win. Very nice.
All right.
But, yeah.
Do you guys quarrel at home?
You see, when we're in the car,
You
it's
do
different. It's different. We are not husband and wife in the car. When we're out of the car, we're husband and wife. It's the only way that it works.
The question modern is, do you quarrel at home? Now, I think every relationship has a quarrel, but I think it's to find a balance.
Yeah.
Right.
In the car, we say we are not husband and wife.
We are not married.
Okay.
So whatever arguments remain in the car, when we close the doors, it stays in the
We're
car.
in the car.
I
When
want
we're
to
at
addict
home,
you to something. I want to see who is the best. I know you are good at hands. I want to see how good you are with your feet. So you can come here. So ladies first. So
I'm not good at,
if Jasmeen will win, then Farook, you have to get those gifts that you wanted to give.
Oh,
You know? So Jasmeen will be the
Valentine's.
first. So I want you to juggle the ball.
juggle
Yes.
with my feet.
With your feet, yes.
I don't know how to do that.
Yes. So and time starts now.
Wow, are you serious?
1, 2. Let's see if Farouk.
You should have warned me. I would have brought my sneakers, but
Let's see if Farouk
Can we do something? Can you start and then
Yeah.
I beat what you have done?
No, just start now. And time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well done. So no gifts for you, Jasmeen. Alright, so we have to go. I was hosting a powerful couple which is in motor rally, Farook Ticklay and Jasmeen Tickay. So, well, I feel it has been a nice program. Until next week when I come with another set of guests, my name is Modern Tapechera Sinkara. Goodbye.